Quack-a-doodle-doo. What is up, fellow birds? The Spiral. It is your friend and pal, Fearsome, here with another companion overview. And today I will be on my Buccaneer talking about one of my favorite companions in the entire game, mostly because of how versatile he is and because very few people realize his potential. I am talking about Peter Quint. Yes, many of y'all think he's very powerful, and I've only seen one setup, but I'm about to show you guys another setup that I've been doing a lot of testing on and have experienced quite a bit of success with. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big 3v3 and 4v4 player. I also do know a lot about PvE because, well, surprise, surprise, PvP players tend to be some of the best PvE players. They tend to kill bosses a lot quicker than PvE specialists. So, that being said, we do see things from the PvE side of things as well, and I'm going to be sharing you guys a setup that you may find useful in PvE, Team PvP, and some 1v1 situations like versus a musketeer. But that being said, let's talk about some of the powers that define Pete as a companion. So I'm going to go ahead and move him up here. Alright, so first of all, he has Whale Smite. That's a buff that, lasts for 3 turns and increases, uh, the base stat, the Buccaneers' base stat strength by 100%. That's the entire team, by the way, that it does it for. Now, there aren't really any other companions with anything like this. The whale buff is really, really nice to have because Buccaneers do well with criticals, especially when you have Bladestorm 3 on your Buccaneers. But the next thing he has is what's called a gap closer. Now, the last episode I was talking about El Toro and how he had great mobility but no gap closer. Well, this is a gap closer. So what do I mean by that? For one turn, Pete's movement will be increased 2 times when he is using Brittle Charge. On top of that, Brittle Charge does 2 attacks, and if you think about it, that gives him 2 separate chances to critical. And Buccaneers do well with criticals, so this is very, very nice to have. It's not just a normal attack. It's really good to have. On top of that, he reduces whoever he attacks by 50%, their accuracy by 50% for 5 turns. The person he targets, that is. So, very useful ability. One of the things that definitely define him most as a companion. He also has a guaranteed super strike, guaranteed critical once again, can set off more chains. So that also helps define him. Now, I'm not sure how much Pirate 3 actually affects PvP. Okay, now I can't tell you for sure. I've tried. Maybe the game just does not, work the way it should. But from my experience, it's been iffy. Like it's about 50-50. It seems like when he's in the pirate zone, sometimes sometimes he actually does seem to hit more. Sometimes he does seem to do more damage. But I've never seen anything definite. No animations or anything that would indicate this actually works for sure. But I mean, you can't really tell with this game, is what I'm saying. But it definitely does work on board ships. Um, and there is something in PvP called the Pirate Zone. Um, that's where basically when you put down big guns, the flames show. But yeah, experiment more with this pirate power. Maybe I'll do a video where I experiment with it and then actually show you guys some numbers. That would be a fun video to do in the future. Moving on though, Turn the Tide 2. This also defines him as a companion because unlike other charging units that only have Turn the Tide 1, this guy's accuracy is increased by 25% when he's below half health, which means that if El Toro pops a buff or Wu-Tang pops a buff, that gives him another 25% accuracy. He basically has the equivalent of Battle Seal on. So, I mean, that means he pretty much only has a 5% chance of missing. And that's only because of the RNG factor, which I'll discuss later in another video. So this is incredibly powerful. It increases his damage as well. And that helps define him as a companion. It's not even something you have to pick epic-wise on him. It automatically comes with his companion. Like most companions in this game, and aside from his gap closer, brutal charge, Pete has 4.5 movement. Now we've pretty much covered all the powers that pretty much define him as a companion. Let us go ahead and talk about a couple of setups. First, we'll talk about the standard setup you'll probably see on most people's Peter Quints. So, the setup doesn't look anything like this. Well, maybe a little bit. But it's usually Vengeance Strike 3, Relentless 2, and Bladestorm 2. Now, why is this? Because a lot of people in this game do a lot of 1v1s, more so than they do 3v3s and 4v4s. A lot of YouTubers and a lot of people who write guides for this guy only recommend this one setup for that reason. Yes, it works fine in PvE as well, but I'm going to show you guys another setup in just a bit. Yes, I would recommend that setup versus melee companions and melee teams, for sure, in most situations, with the exception of when you're versing a privateer. So that's the first setup. Vengeance Strike 3, Relentless 2, Bladestorm 2. It is a good setup. However, you can put Pete in a pure damage carry role, and I'm about to talk about. I'm about to share that setup with you in just a second. All right, setup number 2. Exactly what you see right here. Relentless 2, Bladestorm 3, Second Chance 2. Now, why would you want Bladestorm 3? A lot of people don't seem to know what Bladestorm 3 does, so let me explain. So, when a Bladestorm hits, right, when you trigger a critical or you kill a unit, Bladestorm 3 will hit based off of the base stat, which in this case is strength, okay? And since very few other units in this game have a whole lot of strength, it's almost certainly going to hit. There's like a 5% chance it's going to miss, but that's just because of the RNG factor, okay? So even if Pete is reduced, he is going to almost certainly hit his Bladestorm. So that's the reason why Bladestorm 3 is so very good. Okay? On top of that, in case he does miss, I've given him Second Chance 2. This is partially for the relent chains. But, if for some reason the 1 in 20 chance does occur and he does miss a Bladestorm, we also have this second chance to, back him up some. And of course, when you charge with Peter Quint, sometimes it's against a musket line, and sometimes his accuracy does get reduced. So having the second chance does give him another chance to come through and get a nice critical chain, which can be vital in some situations. This setup is particularly good when you are playing in 1v1s versus a musketeer. If your timing is good, then it is incredibly good in 3v3s and 4v4s. And it's actually what I would recommend. Now, for PvE, this is also an incredibly good setup. It's very much underestimated. Because, peep this, okay? If somebody, well, this also applies to PvP as well, but peep this, okay? So someone attacks Peter Quint. They reduce him. Well, guess what? Peter Quint won't attack back because he doesn't have Vengeance Strike. Therefore, he will not get First Strike spammed. He will not get riposte spammed, and he won't die the second that he's attacked, which does happen from time to time because he has Vengeance Strike on the other setup that I mentioned earlier. Instead, you get to choose who you attack. You can go ahead and go for a squishier unit, and your Peter Quint will most likely survive. That's the advantage of this setup right here. Okay, now I've mentioned both the setups. Let us delve right into talents. Now, this is the general exception to the rule. I like to go with strength um, instead of dodge. The main reason why is because Peter Quint doesn't really need to dodge anything. And especially when he has his Vengeance Strike set up, um, it's better that he doesn't dodge, as you want him to get Vengeance Strikes. Um, the next one, obviously, is accurate. The more chains you can land, the more likely you are to critical later on. You don't want your chains to get interrupted, so accurate, obviously. Tough, that's a 510 health bonus. Super nice to have. 40% damage, or I mean 40 damage right there. Not 40%, that would be quite nice. But 40 damage. And then the last one you do put into a little bit of dodge because there's not really anything else you can put it into that's very good. So that right there is that right there. That's the talents for Pete. What I would recommend. So that's Peter Quint. I'm aware there may be other Peter Quint setups out there, and I'm definitely willing to experiment with more. I think the companion may be able to hold the line. I don't have membership right now, so I cannot confirm that. But when I get membership again, guys, when I actually feel like buying another membership for this game, I'll definitely try some other setups. But until then, um, I hope to see you guys in my next video. Still deciding what companion I want to do for it, but should be fun either way. At any rate, until then, it has been your friend and pal Fearsome here with yet another Pirate101 video because goodness knows I love this game. Hey, if you like what you see, you can make your own awesome videos with a drag and drop editor called Filmora 9, who I am actually affiliated with. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, their program is free. There is a premium version, which is also really nice and what I myself has been using for many years. But if you would like to see what a brand new YouTuber has made with Filmora 9, absolutely free. The first time he used it, I will go ahead and post a 5-minute video that I really enjoyed myself in the link below in the description. So be sure to check out Formora and be sure to check out his YouTube channel because he's also an awesome Pirate101 YouTuber and we all love to support the community. So yeah, I will see you guys around.